This conference will now be recorded.
No. So in the previous session, we have discussed about preventing the user from logging into the Salesforce instance. That is, how can we deactivate the user and how can we freeze the users we have discussed. And then how to deactivate the users and how to freeze the users we have discussed practically. And what is the difference between deactivation and the freeze also we have discussed. Whenever I'm deactivating the user, what will happen? Whenever I'm freezing the user, what will happen? Which we have discussed in the last session.
Sir, a small question. If we freeze the
today
user,
does
it mean? Hello?
Yes.
Sir, if we freeze the user, does that mean that we can allocate that same license to someone else? Like whatever we are going to pay, will it be decreased?
No. In this case here, whenever you are freezing the user, so now whatever the license that you have given that user, license will be simply there with that license will be with that user only. We can't assign that license to the other people. Okay.
Okay. So for deactivate, can we use it then?
Yes. If you are deactivating that, then automatically that license will be returning back to you, and then we can assign that license to the new member over there.
Okay, suppose if we don't want to use it and if we want to give it back to Salesforce, like, I don't want to pay for that license. So how to do that, sir?
See, if you are paying that initially, whenever if you want to use a license, then you have to pay the amount first. If you're paying that amount first, then only Salesforce will be giving that license to you. If you are using that or not using it, secondary thing. Okay, Salesforce won't bother about that. So they have given the license to you. How to use it's up to us. Suppose, for example, like the general scenario, if I'm taking a flat on rent, if I'm not staying in that flat, okay, since 2 months, then even though we need to pay the rent, same concept here also, no change.
So if I want to give the license back, then what I need to do?
Then no need to pay that amount for that license, so that Salesforce won't grant the access with that license. That license will be getting expired automatically.
Okay.
Hello, sir. Hello.
So now in this case, how can we manage the other features of the user? We'll see practically. Now, we are done with deactivating the user and using the user. User login history. Let's see how can we verify the user's login history. So what exactly the user login history and how can we verify? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, in this case, what exactly the user login history? Now let's see practically in this case. For example, we have an organization. I am the administrator. So I have few users are available who are accessing my application. So as an administrator, I need to track, I need to monitor whether these people are going to be utilizing the account properly or whether they're misutilizing our account credentials. Might be some other people might be accessing this application. I need to track. For that reason, Salesforce has given a feature. Salesforce has given a feature that is called as user login history. By using this option, we can able to verify. Okay, by using this option, we can track. Okay, who are able to log in into our Salesforce application. Okay, we are able to log into our Salesforce application when they have logged in, and by using which username they have logged in, and then by using which system, what is the system's IP address, and then everything we can able to track that information. So in order to verify, okay, in order to verify which users are utilizing your Salesforce account, which users has logged in at what time, from which location they have logged in, what is the system IP address, so whether they have entered the proper credentials or not, or whether their credentials are invalid or not, everything we can able to track. So that facility is available which has been given by Salesforce. Then how can we verify this user login history? So that simply we can go to that setup menu. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Click on manage users and click on user login history. Click on user login history. We're using this user login history, we can able to verify. So now which users has logged into our Salesforce application, and then when they have logged in, everything we can.
Hello, Firoz. Firoz, you are not audible. Hello.
I think connection lost.
Maybe.
Now, so in this case, I would like to track this user's login history. Now let's see, verify. How can we verify this one? Let me log in into my Salesforce account. I'm logging into my administrator's credential. By using this administrator's credentials, I can able to verify. Overall, the users are accessing my Salesforce application, and when they have logged in, everything we can able to track this information as well. Now let's see how can we verify that. Simply go to that administrator menu in the left panel. Go to the manage users. You will be having an option called as login history. There is an option called as login history. By using this login history option, we can able to verify how frequently the people are logging into our Salesforce application, when they have logged in, by using which username they have logged in, by using which system they have logged in, from which location they have logged in, what is the city name, what is the state name, what is the country name, what is the country code, what is the postal code, and what is that latitude, longitude, everything we can track this information. By using this login history option, we can able to track the complete history information of that user's login information. Then how can we verify that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so let's click on this login history. So by using this login history, we can able to track the information about the user logins in the last 6 months. So now the last 6 months, how many people has logged in, when they have logged in, everything we can able to track. Now it is indicating this information over. Now it is indicating this information over. Now, so it is indicating that the username is so and so username. This is the username who has been logged into my application, and so date and so time they have logged in. This is the system's IP address, and this is the location of that system over here. And then I have logged into the application by using this Salesforce application, and then my login is successful. I'm using Chrome browser. In my local system, I'm having the Windows 7 operating system. I'm using the browser to access that Salesforce application, and this is the login URL which I have used to log in into my Salesforce application, that is login.salesforce.com, and this is the HTTP method which I'm using right now. So this is how Salesforce is tracking this information as well. So in the last 6 months, who are all the people has logged into the application, everything can be tracking by the administrator. Now, that's what here, whenever you are working on any project in the real time, if you need any support, don't share your credentials to the proxy people. Because suppose, for example, assume that I'm working in some US. So I'm from US, I learned some Salesforce course. I have joined into the Salesforce project. That means I got a job in one of the company on Salesforce technology. I put some fake experience here. Already have placed some fake experience in my profile. I'm new to Salesforce, but I have placed some 4 years of experience on Salesforce in my profile. I got that job also, and then I have joined to the job I'm working on this. So today, my technical lead has assigned some task to me, but it's a typical task I don't know how to develop. So that I have contacted one proxy person. Proxy person understand another person who is ready to work for me. That means what are the tasks my technical lead has assigned to me? Okay, now I will share this task information to him. He will write the code for the task. So whenever he wants to write the code for you, if he wants to develop that application at that time, Salesforce account,
your voice is
he has to log into the Salesforce.
Voice is right?
Yes. So generally, what we credentials to that people here blindly do. So blindly we are sharing our credentials to that proxy person can log in into the application. With our credentials, he will be working with.
your voice is breaking.
But at that time,
Sir, your voice.
This conference will now be recorded.
no. So by using this user login history, we can track the user's logins information in the last 6 months. In the past 6 months, overall the people has logged into our application, everything we can able to track by using login history. So that whenever you are working on any real-time implementation on Salesforce, okay, don't appoint any proxy. Don't share your Salesforce account credentials to the proxy person, because whenever the proxy person has logged into your Salesforce account, okay, so then automatically Salesforce will track from which location the person is accessing this application. So administrator people are going to be keep on tracking this data. Who is logging to the application, when they're logging in, from which location they're logging into the Salesforce application, everything they will be tracking that. So that don't share your credentials to any proxy person upon working in the real time. Okay, now take the help from those people, but don't share your credentials to anybody else, because it's a problem for us. Because of that, some few people are losing their jobs also.
The proxy means?
No. Proxy in the sense, suppose for example, job support people. That means the people who are giving the job support. Like for example, okay, I have joined as a Salesforce developer, but recently I'm done with my Salesforce course, but I don't know okay much technical skills. I don't have much technical skills, but somehow I have cleared my interview. I got a job. So once a project has been getting allocated, then to work on my project here, okay, to work on my project, I need some help from the proxy person. Proxy person in the sense I am going to be contacting another person who will be working for me. That means what are the tasks my technical lead has assigned to me, I will share that task details to that person. That person will write the code. That person will work for me over there. So for that one, I'm paying some amount to that person. Okay. To save my job, we are going to be contacting some proxy people as well for the job support. Okay.
Yes, we
So
need
that
help.
don't. Yes.
Sir, we don't share username and password. That only, sir.
Yes. Don't share your username and the password.
Okay, okay.
Now, the next one. The next one is grant account login access. Grant account login access. So what do you mean by grant account login access feature? So what exactly the grant account login access nowadays? Suppose for example, let's take a small scenario. Assume that I'm working for a project. For example, I'm working for a project. In our project, we have totally 10 developers are there. 10 developers are there. So 10 developers who are working on Salesforce. So from out of these 10 people, 5 members are working from Bangalore location. From Bangalore, 5 people are working. And then from Hyderabad location, 3 people are working. And from the US, from the client side, 2 people are working. Like as my technical lead, and then my manager. These people are working from the client location. He went to the on-site, he's working from the client location. So totally 10 developers are there inside my project. All are Salesforce developers. From out of these 10 people, 5 people are working from Bangalore location, 3 people are working from Hyderabad location, and the 2 people are working from US location, from the US, from the client side. So now, for example, assume that one of the person, I am one of the person who is working from Hyderabad location. Okay. I am one of the person from Hyderabad location. Assume that my name is Samram. Assume that my name is Samram. Now, today, whenever I'm working on the application, okay, whenever I'm working on the application, so when I click on a button control, it is showing a very big error message. Okay. Till yesterday, the application is working very fine. But today morning, when I click on a button control inside my application, it is showing a very big error message. But I don't know why we are getting this error message. I tried a lot to resolve that problem, but still no luck. I'm unable to resolve that problem. Still, I'm facing that problem. So in this case, I have verified inside the Google, maybe there is a solution is available, but I did not found any solution inside the Google also. So finally, okay, I contacted my colleagues also who are from Hyderabad location. So these people are also has tried to resolve, but still no luck. And finally, we are contacting our technical lead. Because my technical lead is my administrator also. He is an admin for our project. He is taking care of user management, configurations, and everything. So that I need to have contacted my technical lead. So now my technical lead has sent the reply back to me that he is ready to help me out. Because whenever if any of the junior member or the team member has stuck up somewhere else, then as a senior person, as a technical lead, he has to resolve those problems. He has to help out them. So now in this case here, I have contacted my technical lead by sending an email notification. So dear technical lead, this is the problem. So which has stuck up in so and so place. So I'm getting so much very big error message when I click on the button control, but I'm unable to figure it out what exactly the problem. We have verified in the Google also, but no solution is there. I've contacted our senior members also in the team, but they are also tried, but no luck. Still the same problem is getting arised. Then in this case, please help me out. Then in this case here, what we can do? In this case, but my technical lead is from US, I am from Hyderabad. Then how this person can able to understand my problem, how this person can help me out from the issue. What we need to do generally, we need to take a screenshot and then we have to send it to the technical lead through an email. But even though if you're sending an email notification, he can't understand. You need to look into the code first. What exactly the code that I have written over there? He has to understand. But he can't look into the code. I can't take the screenshot of the code. There is a huge lengthy code I have written behind that user interface. Then what we can do in this case here, now my technical lead asked me, please share me your screen so that I can look into the code. So for that reason, what we need to do, I need to use this kind of GoToMeeting or Zoom also, okay, or the Google Talk. We need to use this kind of tools and then I need to share my screen to the person. But he can look into my code, but how he can modify my code? For that reason, my technical lead asked me to share your credentials. Please share me your credentials. So with your credentials, I will log in into your application. I will look into the code. I will verify the problem, what exactly it is. So in this case here, okay, now in this case, whenever we are facing any major issue in the application, then to troubleshoot that issue, we need to take the help of our administrator. But administrator may not be available at the same location. He may be working from US, he may be working from UK, Germany, Japan, wherever, we don't know. Then how can we get the help of that person over there? In this case, no need to share your credentials to that administrator. Okay, no need to share your credentials to the administrator. Without sharing the credentials to the administrator, we can grant our account login access to that administrator also. Generally, if I'm sharing my credential, then only he can able to log in into my application. With my credentials, he will log in. But without sharing the credentials also, we can grant the permission to the administrator to log in into my application as me. Because credentials are very, very important. These are very, very sensitive information, confidential information. We should not share our credentials to anybody else, even though he may be my system administrator, even though he may be my technical lead, my project manager, my client also, my company CEO also, anybody. As per the company policy, we should not share our credentials to anybody else. So at that time, how can we get the help from those people? How can we get the help from those people? So in this case, okay, now here in this case, what we can do is, instead of sharing the credentials to the people, we can grant our account login access to that administrator to get the resolution from the troubleshooting issues. Now, in order to get the help from the troubleshooting issues, we can able to get the help from that our system administrator by granting our account access to him without sharing our credentials. Without sharing our credentials to the person, we can grant our account login access also. Then how? Now let's see practically in this case. Then how can we grant our account login access to that administrator? Now let's see. So Salesforce has given a feature to us. Salesforce has given a feature to us that we can share our account credentials to the people. Okay, that means we can share our account access to the people without sharing my username and the password. Without sharing my username and the password, my administrator can log in into my application also. Then how? Now let's see practically in this case. As part of your Salesforce organization, Salesforce has given the feature that we can grant our account login access to the two people. One is your system administrator. Second one is your Salesforce support people. Why? Because if the problem is because of my application, then my system administrator will take care of that. Suppose if the problem is from Salesforce application itself, then because yesterday Salesforce has given a new release, because of that new release only we are facing this problem. At that time, how can we get the help? From where we can get the help? At that time, we need to get the help from Salesforce.com support. In this case, okay, now here in this case, how can we get the help from the Salesforce administrator or from the Salesforce support people? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, so in this case, whenever you're facing any problem, okay, inside that application, we can get the help from the two people. One is our Salesforce administrator, second one is from the Salesforce.com support people. So without sharing our username and the password to those people, we can grant our account login access to those people also. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. Now, in this case, for example, today development user is facing some problem. So he would like to share, he would like to grant his account login access to the administrator. Development user wants to grant the account login access to administrator. Development user wants to grant the account login access to the administrator. How this person can grant the account login access to the administrator? Now let's see, verify this case. For that one, log in into the development user account here. Log in into development user account. Go to the username and expand it. Click on my settings scene. Click on my settings scene. Click on my settings scene. Go to the personal and expand it. Click on grant account login access. Select the person to whom we need to grant the account login access. Like for example, you can grant the account login access to Salesforce administrator. Like for example, for 1 month. Or you can grant the account login access to Salesforce support also here. Salesforce.com support people also. Depends upon your application requirement. And then click on save button. Click on save. In this case, what will happen? Let me show you practically in this case. Now, so let me log in into the development user account here by using a different Salesforce account. Now, that means by using the different browser. I'm using a different browser like as Mozilla Firefox browser to log into the development user account. I have entered the username and the password to log in into my development user account. So now it is asking me to provide the verification code. That means the OTP. Whenever the user is logging into the application first time, it asks you to provide that OTP. So let me provide the OTP. Now, so currently I'm into that development user account. So currently I'm into the development user account. This is the development user account, which I have logged into that account with the development user's credentials by using Firefox browser. So this is the Salesforce administrator account here. This is my Salesforce administrator account, that is training batch user, which I have logged in by using that Chrome browser. Now, so let's verify the user's information first. Before granting that account login access, let's verify. Go to the manage users, click on users. These are the users are available here inside my organization. Like we have training batch user, customer user, development user, manager user, testing user. These are the 4 users which I have created. So when you verified that we are having the buttons like as edit, 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 and the edit. These are the options are available. Now, development user is granting the account login access to you right now. Development user is granting the account login access right now. How he is granting the account login access now? Let's see. Go to the development user account. Click on my settings. Okay, go to the username. Click on my settings. Now it is providing that user interface to make the settings for your account. In the left panel, we have an option called as personal and expand it. We have an option called as grant account login access. So grant account login access. Click on this grant account login access option. Now here it is indicating to you to assist with the support issues. Nothing but if you want to get the support regarding the troubleshooting issues, then we can grant your account login access to 2 people, either to the Salesforce administrator of your organization or Salesforce.com support people. So to anybody, we can grant your account login access. So in this case here, I want to grant my account login access to my Salesforce administrator. Then how long time you would like to grant this account login access? That means I'm not sharing my credentials. I'm not sharing my username and the password to the administrator. Just I want to grant my account login access to the people over there. So now here in this case, here how can we grant your account login access to the people? For that reason here, I'm going to be using this grant account login access option given by Salesforce. So which I would like to use to log into that. We can able to share my account login access to the person. Now, I'm granting my account login access to that administrator either 1 day or 3 days or 1 week or 1 month or 1 year. That means for how long time you would like to grant your account login access to the administrator. I'm granting for 1 month here. I'm selecting 1 month, click on save. That means development user, as a development user, so I'm granting my account login access to the administrator over here for 1 month. Now let's go to that administrator account, what will happen in this case. Here I'm having edit option. Just refresh this user interface, observe what will happen in this case. Now, refresh the user interface. Now, what you have observed in this case, for the development user account, you will be getting the option called as login. A new option is available. As an administrator, I can log into the development user account also. How? Just click on this login link, directly can jump into the development user account also. Without entering the username and password, as an administrator, I can log into the development user account also directly. Just click on login link, directly you can join into that. You can log into that development user's account also automatically. That means what? Generally, if somebody wants to log in into your account, you have to share your credentials. Then only they can log in. But now, Salesforce has given a feature without sharing your credentials. Okay, without sharing the username and the password to the people, we can grant our account login access to our Salesforce administrator or the Salesforce.com support people. So in this case, we can grant our account login access to that Salesforce.com support people or to our Salesforce administrator also. That facility is available in this. So whenever we are going to be granting the permission to them, they will be getting one option called as login option. When they click on login link, directly they can log into my application without entering any username and the password over there. This is the facility has been given by Salesforce because it's purely cloud. Suppose if any of the customer is facing some problem with the application, just by sitting in my office, just by sitting in my home, we can log into that user's account without knowing their credentials also. Without knowing their credentials, we can log into that user's account and we can able to resolve their problems as well. For that reason, Salesforce has given this feature. Now, so in this case, here I have logged into the development user account right now. So now you can able to resolve the problem. You can come out from this. You can log out from this user account. Once we are done with that fix, that means once we're done with that resolution for that problem, you can able to come out from the user account. Whenever I'm going to be signing out from that user account, Salesforce will be signing out the whole application. That means as an administrator, I have logged into the development user account. Then it is going to be allowing me to log into that development user account. From there, I have resolved that problem here, and then whenever I'm coming out from the user account, then automatically it will be user closing the whole session user account when it's over there. But I don't want to close the whole session. I want to close only the development user's account. To come back to my session, I want.
So unable to hear you, sir.
I want to, but here it is complete session of.
So your voice is breaking.
Sorry, your voice is breaking.
Account, but I'm logging into separately.
Rose, we cannot hear you.
Able to hear you.
Cannot hear you.
Now is it fine now?
Yes,
Yes.
much better. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat what you were saying, sir?
Okay, now. So now whenever I have been, suppose for example, assume that I am the development user person. I'm the development user person. Abhishek is my administrator. Okay, Abhishek is my administrator. So today I have requested Abhishek. Okay, today I have requested to my technical lead or some like as my system administrator, some Abhishek. So dear Abhishek, so I am one of your team member. So now I am a developer. Today I am facing some problems. So please help me out. So Abhishek is my technical lead and he is also the system administrator. He's sitting from US. So in this case, Abhishek told me, so Firoz, please grant your account login access to me so that I can log in into your account. I will verify what is the problem over there. I will fix it. So I have granted my account login access to the Abhishek. So I have granted the account login access by using this option given by Salesforce. So Abhishek has logged into my Salesforce account by just by click on that login link. So just by click on this login link, Abhishek has logged into my application and then he has resolved the problem also. He has come out from that account. So when he signed out, it will be closing the whole session. It will be closing that whole session. That means here, so now he has logged into my application, nothing but into my account. How? So now just by click on this login link. When you go to that users option, when you go to that users option, so now for my account, nothing but as a development user account, it will be giving an option called as login link. So now Abhishek has simply click on this login link. He has logged into my application over here. He has resolved my problem. When you click on sign out, it will be closing the whole session. But what I want to do, I don't want to close that whole session. Whenever he has signed out from my account, from my session, it has to come back to that Abhishek's account automatically. That means only that development user account session should be get closed. It has to come back to that Abhishek's session automatically. So in this case, what we can do is we need to prevent the user from logging into the Salesforce application again. Then what we can do? So in this case here, whenever I'm going to be logging into that user account, once you click on this login link, directly I can log in into that user account over here. After performing the operation, once we resolve the problem, I will be coming out from the development user account. When I click on that log out from the development user account, the whole session has been logged out. I need to log in into my account separately over here. So that here I'm logging into my account over there. So now here I'm entering my credentials again. I need to log in into my account separately over there. So now to avoid this kind of problem, whenever I'm going to signing out from the development user account, it has to come back to my account automatically. It has to come back to my account automatically. Then how can we do that here? It has to come back to my account automatically. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically. In this case, there is an option called as, okay, there is an option called as force re-login as, okay, force re-login after login as a user. Force re-login. That means once the administrator has been logged out from that user account, then please force him. That means please then force him to log in into the application again. So now in this case, I would like to prevent that force re-login option to the user. Then what we can do, just to go to that administrator menu, go to that security controls. Here we have an option called as session settings. Go to that option called as session settings. Inside the session settings, you will be having an option called as required secure connections HTTPS. Now, here there is an option is available. Force re-login after login as a user. There is a checkbox is available. That means here this checkbox is already selected. So what does it mean? Whenever as an administrator, whenever I'm logging into a user account by using that login option, after resolving the problem, when I signed out that account, it should come back to my account, but it is not coming back. It will be forcing me to re-log in into my application account. So, but I don't want to do that here. Please come back to my account. So that unselect this checkbox. Don't force me, don't enforce me to re-log in into my application again. So that unselect this checkbox. And then click on save. Click on save. Now, So in this case, observe what will happen. Now let's go to that. Go to the manage users, click on login. Now I would like to log in into the development user account. So click on this login link. Now I have logged into the development user account. So this is the development user account right now here. I have logged into the development user account right now. I am performing some operations and then I can able to sign out from this account over here. When I click on log out, it should not close the whole session. It has to come back to my administrator account. So it has been come back to my administrator account over here. Like that here. So now the development users, nothing but the partners or the customers, the end users or employees, they can grant their account login access to the administrator or Salesforce.com support people in order to get the troubleshooting issues. So in order to get the troubleshooting issues, we can able to get the help from the administrator or the Salesforce.com support people by granting our account login access to those people over there. Okay. So now sometimes in this case, you can raise a question. Sir, suppose for example, development user has logged into his application and then he has granted account login access to the administrator. For example, if we are having some thousands of users are available, then how these people will do all these things? Some people will do that, some people will not do. Then what we can do in this case? So now, do we have any possibility that as an administrator, can we get this entire credentials in one shot? Yes, there is a possibility. There is a possibility is available that, okay, there is a possibility that, so now as an administrator, okay, as an administrator, we can able to log in into that, we can able to take that credentials. We can take that login access to all the users in one shot. Okay, we can take that login access to all the users in one shot. Now, so in this case, as an administrator, I have the facility. Okay, as an administrator, I have the facility that I can able to take the login option of all the users in one shot. As an administrator, I can able to take that permission for all the users in one shot. How can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. How can we take all the people's account login access in one shot? Now let's see. As of now, it is showing that login option for only for development user over here. Only for development user, it is showing this login option. Now, I want to take the remaining people's login option also in one shot. As an administrator, I have that rights. Then how can we do that? Now let's see practically in this case. So now let's go to that administrator menu. Go to that security controls. Go to that security controls. You will be having an option called as login access policies. So click on login access policies link. Click on login access policies link. Then you can verify this one. Go to that settings. Administrators can log in as any user. Now I want to enable this option here. Okay, enable this option. Administrator can log in into any other user over here. Okay, now click on save. Okay, click on save. Now that means what? As an administrator, I can log in into any user account directly here. So the user no need to grant his account login access to
Unable to hear you.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Sir is speaking, but I can't hear him.
Having technical difficulties, I believe.
Hello. Now, so now let's verify that. When you are looking into this users account, you will be having that login option for all users in one chart.
Sir, your voice is still breaking.
So it's fine now.
No, sir.
No, it's not.
Now, is my voice is audible now?
No, it's going in and out.
No, sir.
My voice is audible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, now it's audible.
It's not audible now.
Yes, sir.
It is audible, but it is breaking. Breaking. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So then we'll do one thing. Shall we continue the session on Monday again?
Okay,
Because
sir.
there is a huge heavy raining is going on here. That's what we are facing some network issues. That's what it keep on fluctuating that network issue. It's very slow actually. That's what.
Okay, sir, it's
Okay,
fine.
sir.
Continue the
Do we
session
have
on
a
Monday.
session tomorrow? So we
What
don't
about
have a
development,
session
sir?
tomorrow.
The development.
So now the development also we will be facing the same problem. That's what the problem. So that we'll have the development session also on Monday. Okay.
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
I have a question. How many more weeks of admin course is there?
No. For your 7:30 batch, we'll be having hardly some 4 to 5 sessions. Okay, for your 7:30 batch.
Okay, 7:30.
Okay.
Yeah. So
No,
only
sir,
four. So only one more week left for the class.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no.
That's it.
We are all 6 o'clock batch.
No. Hold on. Let him answer. I'm getting
Yeah.
lost.
For 6 o'clock, we'll continue.
No. I'm talking about the admin course, sir, which is 7:30 India time, 9 a.m. US time. So we have only 5 more
Yeah.
sessions left.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, you will be having only 5 more sessions, and for the 6 o'clock batch people, they will be continuing as it is. We'll be having that some more features for those. Okay.
What about development class for 6 o'clock timing, sir?
Development will be at 6:30, na, madam.
6:30 class. For 6:30 class, right now admin part is going on. What about the development part for the
Yes.
6:30 class?
So after that, after completion of the admin part, they will be going with the development.
Okay then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, then when are you going to be explaining to us on the certification thing?
The certification I will explain next week. I will give the information, certification, dumps also, everything. Next week I will be giving the certification dumps also to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, your voice is coming in waves. That's why I was asking you repeatedly. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello,
Yes.
sir. I just wonder.
Yes.
Grant access. Can we share to administrator grant access?